Powerful and provocative, prophetic and practical,
Have you ever found yourself?
Are you dating for that person?
informative and
I feel
inspirational.
every bit of it. Like, I'm not trying to waste my
How you gonna do better if you don't know what better looks like? I do. Come on, let's talk about it with me, the Mind Massager.
We're gonna get started. What's up? What it do? Time for another episode of the Intellectual Stew with yours truly, James Kirk. Let me cut this music off so we can get this thing going. Hey, do me a favor. Go ahead and share this thread. Listen, if I came on, I need you all to come on because I have been running all day. I've been in 2 time zones today. I flew back into Atlanta. And I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to tap out. I was tired, but a couple of people called me and said, "Nope, you better not." And I didn't really have anything to talk about. You know, I kind of been looking at a few things here recently. Hey, Tanisha, how you doing? Been looking at a few things here recently on Facebook. Facebook, man, it shows you a lot about how people think. It shows you where people's priorities are, and it shows you how people, you know, because people don't mind sharing, man, and I love to watch them share. But I saw one meme that I thought, "What's up? Hey, Sharon, I'm glad you came on tonight. Hey, I'm super glad you're here tonight." But listen, I saw one meme last week that really it resonated with me. I want y'all to check this meme right here. Hold on right quick, and we're gonna get into this conversation. I got somebody in the back room, and he's gonna share his truth. But look at this meme. This meme says, according to a new BMC psychology study, people who are obsessed with celebrities are less intelligent. Okay, I thought I ought to put that out because the thing is, we live vicariously through all of these celebrities, right? You know, people that don't know anything about us, that don't know we exist, that in different tax brackets, you know, are able to do things that we aren't able to do, and you think you can get what they got, but you don't even have the same budget. I mean, but people who are obsessed with these celebrities, according to this study, says they're less intelligent now. So that's why I like to bring on everyday people. I like to bring on the people that we live with, the people that we communicate with, the people that we got to go to work with, the people we got to go to church with, and we hear their truths, right? And once we hear their truths, then we're able to identify with their truths. And maybe we can, maybe we can share ideas. Maybe we can pick something up. You know, who knows? But I can relate better with somebody who is similar to me, who has the same struggles I have, as opposed to this fictitious person. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I got this young man that I'm going to bring on here in just a moment. Now, before I bring him on, I need y'all to share this, if you will, because this is going to be a good conversation. Last few weeks, I've had women on talking about show us how to date you, all those things. But now I want to bring a man on, because men have their truths as well, right? I know we're taught not to be emotional, and if we do show our emotions, then we're considered to be weak. But we do have our emotions. We do have our own ideologies. We do have, even our own desires as it relates to what we want in a woman. And at a certain point, we grow up and we grow out of things and we grow in new directions and all of those things. But I got this gentleman I want to bring on. But before I bring him on, I want to read his post to you. He made a post today in a group that I have. And if you're not a part of Stew Nation, followers of the Intellectual Stew podcast, you should be, because that's where we have a lot of conversations. So, Joe, before I bring you in, I'm going to read his post. Let me read it first. It's kind of lengthy, so y'all stay with me. I want y'all to share this, but here it is. It says, "I can't lie, man. this looking for a relationship stuff gets old. At the end of the day, what is the real benefit? Because with everyone being so damaged, guarded, and selfish, how do we honestly bring back the value of a relationship? Social media and culture in general is so diverse. He said, I've dated so many women that literally hate men, but just want to keep one for status quo. The thing they say about men are wild, yet when you exit, they want to keep you. Us men are the same. We may date a woman for months or years, knowing we would never marry them, but we don't know how to walk away and end up ruining both people in the end. My serious question is, do we really honestly know what it's supposed to be like in a relationship if we keep failing at it? We all go into these things broadcasting that what we want and what we expect. We are so hell-bent on having fun, eating out, taking trips, all sorts of things that should be a celebration of accomplishments. We rarely ever have deep introspective conversations or really sit down and map out goals and how we can accomplish them together. It seems to me that today's relationships are more treated as accessories or toys and distractions rather than real investments to better your life. The right man or woman should literally help put you in a position to change your life exponentially. Yet we only want what we can easily get: sex, money, and a good time. If we treated our partner like we had the first dibs on Amazon stock when it launched, do you think we would invest in them more? Maybe see the value in them and hold on to them. Maybe even invest more into them, because in years, their value could be 100 times, 100x, all because you invested in them and held on throughout the ups and downs. Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm starting to think it's more about what you can put in the, it's more than, excuse me, maybe I'm crazy, but I'm starting to think it's more about what you can put in to the relationship than what you can get out of the relationship. It feels like we are trying to reap crops we never actually sowed. What do y'all think? Are we all looking for something we aren't even prepared to value and take care of? Are we all just looking to be loved without giving an overabundance of love first? Where do y'all stand on relationships, and why do you all want to be in one? That was deep. Let me bring him in. Come on, Joe. That was good. Joe, what's up, man?
What's up, bro?
Bro, you messed me up this morning. I got to be honest with you. But I'm going to be honest with you because, bro, I know we got a little age gap. You know, I got you by about 10 or 11 years, you know, and I put this group together. I know you, and I appreciate you for being a part of it, right? And some people come in and they share their truths, and they come in and share their ideas. You know, sometimes people say, I think what you want to hear, but I think sometimes people say what we need to hear, right? And you came in and you started sharing your truths. And I ain't gonna lie, at first I was like, is he being cynical? Is he being serious? You know, is he trying to be, is he just trying to be rebellious? You know, but then as I started to hear your heart, and one day you said, no, bro, I'm really trying to understand. And I said, oh, and I backed up, because sometimes we cancers can be act offended when we don't need to be offended, right? But I'm a cancer, so I appreciate you for teaching me that. But so tell me what sparked that letter. Hey, and listen, you all, if you want to be a part of Stew Nation, followers of the Intellectual Stew podcast, go request to be a part of it now, and I'll let you in, and you can go in and read the post for yourself, because it's a private group. I had to, because people started putting porn in the group and all that kind of stuff. So I tried to leave it public. But Joe, tell me your truth. Where did that come from this morning? Because, man, that was so heartfelt. Are you there? Hold on. Are we freezing? Hold on. I think Joe might be freezing. Joe, if you're freezing, my friend, go out and come back in, and we'll get you in. Hold on. Let me see if I can take you out. And hold on. Let's get Joe in here. Like I said, y'all, I'm going to go to my page, and I'm going to share this on my regular page. So if you all go and request to be a part of the group, you can come in, and let me bring. He's going to come back in a second. But you can go and request to be a part of the group, and you can read it, because I know it was a lot. I know it was a lot. But what Joe came in, and Joe is really asking, is it worth it? Are relationships worth it? Because he says that it seems to say that everybody now seems to have preconceived notions They're coming in with the wrong ideas. They're coming in. Here he is. Let's get him back in here and let's get him started. All right. We got you now, Joe?
Yeah, did I lose you? You lost me.
I think you froze.
Okay, well, I don't know what happened. I'm trying to go to the phone, but I'm back anyway. So
yeah, if you want to read the comments, look at your phone. But talk to me here. You know what I'm saying? So and you can kind of stay in the conversation. But yeah, go ahead. Let's talk. And tell me what prompted you to have that conversation this morning? Because that was with deep thoughts, bro.
All right. So, like, literally, since I can remember, like, since I was 5, 6, I knew I was going to be married. Knew I was going to be a husband. That's just a thing in my mind that I always wanted. Right. Mm-hmm. So now I'm 39. I'm divorced. And I've dated a lot, like a lot of people, a lot of women, right? And the reason I say that is not like to make that sound like something I should be proud of. I'm actually sad and discouraged by the fact that it's so easy to date people, but so hard to find somebody of value that actually values you and that it actually works out. So I've tried literally everything that everyone tells you. I've read the books. I've done the counseling. I've gone to church. I've gone to meetup groups. I done followed the positive YouTube videos. I done followed the women bashing videos. I done followed the Kevin Samuels. I done followed the Stephen Larbassere, whatever, the guy that's really, really positive and really trying to, play it on both sides using the spiritual aspect. And none of it seems to actually have a positive, substantial long-term outcome. So then I'm like, all right, well, let me go to the source. Let me start reading the Bible. I start randomly. I'm not looking for anything specific. I'm just looking for words. So I start looking through the Bible, and I'm seeing scriptures that literally say, this ain't for you. Like, I can find the scripture if you really want me to do that. But like the things I'm interpreting are basically saying that this ain't something that has a winning shot. So then I start looking at it like, all right, well, I guess, if the marriage ain't going to work it's in the scripture that is damn near impossible to find a good woman. So now it's like, all right, well, we're living in sin. I don't want to live in sin, but I got a whole lot of other sins I do too, outside of maybe the lust in my heart and, sleeping with people before marriage. If they all are judged the same, like, why am I trying so hard to fight against this sin? If at the end of the day, it's like, if I'm really a good person and I just happen to never get married, but, date and have good experiences, is that wrong? I'm not seeing, I want to be married. I want to have more children. I want to do all those things, but 100% of the women that I speak to, the things I'm hearing are not about working together. It's more so just enjoying a good lifestyle, but not actually talking about the work that comes into it. And it's like frightening to me, because the only way I can interpret it is, okay, if I want a wife and I want kids, then I have to be a provider. Cool, no problem. I'm on it. That's basics. That's no problem with that. Now I got to go on trips. Cool, I like to travel. Now I got to take you to restaurants. Not really my thing, but I'll do it. Now I gotta, have time for you. Cool. I'm not making residual income while I sleep, enough to pay my bills for the rest of my life, to not have to worry about waking up to go to work. And if you want me to do these things that are outside of my lifestyle is very cost efficient and chill. I can afford to do the things you need, but where's my benefit? Because in order for me to take you on this $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 vacation, which I would gladly do, I have to work some extra overtime, or I might have to strategize on how I'm going to bring that income in with my personal side business. I need motivation, inspiration, good advice, maybe even good connections. The women that I try to, ask about these scenarios, that doesn't seem to be something that's attractive to them. It almost comes across, if they look at that, as the same boat as some bum dude that don't got no credit, that doesn't take care of his kids, that doesn't know how to do anything, and is cheap.
Yeah.
That's not us. Yeah. That's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing hardworking men that want to do these things, but you have to work in order to do that.
Yeah.
You have to work hard in order to do that frequently.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's value placed on how hard that man is working to give to this woman who's literally just thank you. I just won't cheat on you and I won't leave you. But how are you gonna help me get to the next level? If I'm making 6 figures and I want to make 7, if I got to figure it out on my own, then why would I share that wealth with the person that didn't even try to help me cross that bridge? It doesn't make sense to me. I want it to make sense. That's why I'm asking.
I got it, and we're gonna have a discussion. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna, to be honest with you, my name is James. It ain't Jesus, so I don't have all the answers, but I'm pretty good at helping come up with some of those answers. So this I want to ask you this question before we go farther. What is, in your opinion, by your estimation, what is it, the help that you're talking about? What does it look like? What kind of face does it have? You know, I mean, what form does it help come in? You understand? Now hold on. Come again, and while you be thinking while I'm saying hold on, okay? I'm actually giving you a little more time to put your answer together.
No, I got a perfect answer.
You got an answer? All right, go with it because you hit me with a good right then. You said you hit me
so
with a good
let's paint the scenario.
Okay, let's go.
You got your shit together.
Okay.
Your credit's not bad. Mm-hmm. You got some money in the bank. You know what I'm saying? You got a savings account. You're well educated. Okay. You can speak. Okay, you're social. You're ambitious, right?
Got you.
You are doing. You've accomplished things in your life.
Got you.
You're not satisfied, and you want more.
Got you.
You're in a position where you do have the finances to do the things that's on that bucket list for this girl. I don't got to go to Cheesecake Factory. I can take you to Mastro's. That's fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking, okay, I have this business that I've been doing for a while. And I'm trying to figure out how to expand this business because I'm trying to make this business large enough to where I don't have to work at all. And I can focus on that business, which will provide me more time for my children that are already almost grown and whoever my new, partner would be. In order to get there, I got to work 60, 70, 80 hours a week. I'm not asking you to cook me a meal. I'm not. I'm asking you to help me figure out how I can be more efficient in what I'm doing.
Bro, that is a heck of an answer. And the reason I asked you that answer, and I appreciate you, man. And listen, y'all chime in on this conversation. This is my friend Joe. Well, we're not friends. We don't know each other.
Yeah,
we Facebook friends. We friends. Give me a pound in.
Hey,
put it on screen. Bam, there we go. All right, me and Joe and I are Facebook. Well, we're going to be Facebook friends, but we're in a group together, and we share ideas. And that's the purpose of Stu Nation, the followers of the Intellectual Podcast. I let them. They put their posts in. They put their thoughts in. And we discuss them, and the ones that catch on, they catch on. And Joe put out a heartfelt message today about dating and why. He said, "What's the purpose? It doesn't seem to be a benefit anymore. Everybody wants to benefit individually, but nobody wants to benefit together." And what I hear Joe saying is, Joe said, "I don't mind being a compliment, COMPLIMENT. I'll give you all the compliments you want. I'll tell you you're beautiful. I'll go to work every day. You don't have to cook for me every day. But while I'm giving you compliments, Joe seems to say, I need you to compliment COMPLEMENT this relationship some kind of way. Because if we're not just going to sit here and get fat, I'm using the word right there, but we're going to sit here, be healthy in this relationship. And this is the thing about relationships, Joe, is that relationships grow. Sometimes people think that a relationship, is just going to automatically flourish on its own. You don't put any work into it. You just stagnant. But in a relationship, in year 1, you're not at the same place you are in year 1 than you are in year 5, right? And in year 5, you're not the same as you are in year 10 because you're always changing, right? And so reason I say that is because even in this pursuit of trying to find the perfect woman, and I pray, my friend, that you don't give up on, trying to find that one. Because one thing about it is that there's numerically, let's do math. Numerically, if there were 12 women to every man, right? And you dated 6 of them, and 6 were bad, you know, they didn't want to go to the Cheesecake Factory. All they talked about was 50-50. You know, they listened to the little post I put up a minute ago. They look at every celebrity, at Real Housewives, and they think they're supposed to live like that, you know, but those gentlemen have $1 million bank accounts. You know, I don't have $1 million bank account, so therefore I can't buy you a Maybach. I can't do these things, right? But you mess around, and on that 8th one, you find the right one, right? But you almost got tired on the first 7. You almost gave up. You almost quit because the first 7 didn't look like what you. And that's what I was trying to tell you earlier today. I don't know if you saw it on the post. I said sometimes we find the rarest gem when we're not even looking. You know what I'm saying? You mess around and because sometimes with our eyes, we look at what we see, what's attractive. We look at the lists that are out here these days. We look at all of these. Social media, as you say, puts filters on us, and our experiences create our filters. So we have an idea of what we want and all this kind of stuff. But that sometimes what we want and what we need don't always line up. And so I believe that when we, you said you read the Bible. It's a song by Dwayne Wood said, "Soon as I stop worrying," he said, then worrying how the story ends. That's when I let go, let God have his way, and let God have his way, because I kind of took my hands off of it. I stopped looking, right? But then all of a sudden I bumped into it. And I think when we really, and this is where I am now. Hold on, let me see. Okay. Cerise said, I'm gonna go right back to this. Hold on one second. Cerise, hey Cerise, she said, it sounds like he's saying he wants a helpmate. He wants a woman to serve her purpose, and I totally agree. It's compatibility and it's biblical. So it's some women that believe like you say. Now, go ahead, jump in there, go ahead. You go ahead.
Since you're on the Bible topic, right? This is why it's blowing my mind, because we are so focused on the things that sound pretty in the Bible, and paint this picture of like, okay, God wants us to be married. God says when you find a wife, you find a good thing and all these things. But it also says in the Bible, I gotta find the verse. I'll find it. So remind me that. Find it.
Okay.
It's I want to say Ecclesiastes or something like that. And I'm paraphrasing, but the dude was like, basically like, I've interviewed and spoke with 1,000 men and might have found one righteous one. I've never found a righteous woman. And trust me, women, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about, I read the verse and I'm like, well, damn.
You gotta realize who's talking. You gotta realize who's talking right there too. That's
right.
Solomon.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
Yeah. No. That's Solomon talking. Solomon screwed about Solomon screwed about 1,500 women. So Solomon might not be the best source in that situation. So sometimes you gotta look at context as well. You understand what I'm saying? So,
right. I understand that. So then to go back on that, right? So I read that part, and then there was another part in the Bible, and I gotta find it again, where it talks about being alone, right? You don't want to be alone. You're not supposed to be alone. So God will send you a companion. It said something about like, you might not find your person, like your sexual, your opposite sex partner, but you might literally, God's going to send you a partner of the same sex, not no homosexual stuff, that you can live your life with and accomplish things with. And now that leads me to something even deeper.
Go ahead.
Right? My mom has been married twice.
Okay.
The first relationship is my real father. Terrible. I understand the reason why they broke up. The second one was my stepdad. I'll never call him dad because literally his name, Greg, is the most solid name in the world to me. So I call him Greg because dad don't even sound right for him. That's how much I respect him. Right. Okay. He showed me what it's like to be a man. He did all that provider shit. My mom had, like a dude would try to talk to my mom. Oh, I'll take you to Jamaica on a trip. My mom's like, I've been to Amsterdam. I've been to Prague. I've been to Sweden. Like this year, you're not impressing me. Like that's what he did for her. They broke up. And now she's all talking about how miserable that relationship was. Now, and my mom's like not a minister, but she travels the world and ministers. She's had a best friend, my aunt, that's been in her life 20-something years, as long as I've been alive, like 30-something years, right? Now they are like this. And I know there's no funny business with it. They're literally like this, like sisters. They've helped each other through everything in life and accomplished all the hard things together. My mom seems happier now, 10 years divorced, than she ever did when she was married. So now I start to see things like, yeah, I look at my dad like he was amazing. I look at this relationship like something I wanted, but you're happier alone. And you're not lonely because because she's given up on sex. So she's like, I'm celibate the rest of my life. I can't do that. So her and her friend traveling the world doing what they do, I can respect it because they have a deeper calling for the ministry. I'm looking at it like I could be a bachelor the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And just experience women for who they are. And when things don't work, just allow it to go without it affecting me in a negative way. Because I find that if I'm trying to commit in a relationship and I'm doing my job, it takes a lot from me. If I'm doing it on my own, I'm good. I'll build myself up with my homeboys or vices to have the energy to focus more. But if I'm focused on one person and they're not pouring into me, and I'm also focused on my business, my job, my kids, my whatever, why am I doing it with this one person? Like, I'm trying to understand.
Hey, let me say this as well. And those in the audience that are listening, I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Please share this. Please share this. Please share this thread because this conversation is getting good. This is Joe. Joe put a very heartfelt post in our group today. The name of the group, if you're not a part of it, is Stew Nation, the followers of the Intellectual Stew podcast. If you go join there now, I will accept you or somebody will accept you and you can go read the post. It's a long post, but it's heartfelt. It really is heartfelt. It really is heartfelt. So I brought him on tonight so we could have a one-on-one conversation. Now, Joe, I'm not here, of course, to try to talk you into wanting to be married or anything. So we're just here to share your thoughts.
No, I want to be married. Let
me say this. And let me say this.
Find the reason to do it. Trust me. I want to be married.
Well, that's enough. That part right there is enough.
Why?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The more evidence I find against it, it makes it harder. That's all.
Yeah. No. Okay. And that's good. And that's the thing. All of us as human beings have different fingerprints, right? So if your mom is cool now being happy or single, that's just her walk. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that has to be everybody's walk, of course. And you know that. I know. You're not frozen. Okay, yeah. So that's her testimony. That's not your testimony, right? So me speaking as a person, I know you don't know my testimony, but I was married for 20 years. I was married for 20 years. Probably should have been divorced a lot sooner because I messed up early. I did, and I did things that she probably should have left me for sooner, but she stayed. To this day, I still believe she stayed long enough for the kids. She might have put herself through misery, just enough. But now we were cordial. We never argued, fuss, fought, in those types of things, right? But and we were productive in a dysfunctional situation. But even through that, she stayed long enough for the kids to get to a certain age, and then she bounced, right? Now, personally, I grew up in the marriage. I wasn't the same person at year 1 as I was at year 17. But what I did in year 3, 4, 5, 6, all those things were, you got to reap for those seeds, right? And so I didn't reap then, but I reaped later. Now, does that mean she divorced me? She left me. Does that mean something's wrong with the institution of marriage? No. I have no bitterness towards marriage. Marriage. Hold on. No. I know you don't either. I know you. I'm just talking in general because it's sometimes we got. Remember when Paul and Silas was in prison and they started singing and praying, and then all of a sudden the prisoners heard them. It's some people eavesdropping right now. I just want them to hear the conversation. Okay, so I have no bitterness towards marriage. I have no bitterness towards women. Now, for a long time, you know who I was bitter towards? Me.
Yourself. Yep.
Yeah, man. I struggled, bro, for a long time because I knew I had messed up so bad. I knew what I had forfeited. Paul said, I count all things lost for the excellency of the knowledge of Christ Jesus. He said, and the word lost in the Greek right there means I forfeited everything so that I can, for a better relationship, right? So I lost some things. I forfeited some things. No, I lost them. I didn't forfeit them. I gave, it was taken from me because I messed up, right? And so here I am now thinking that I wasn't worthy of a new relationship. I mean, for years, I wouldn't even try to date. And then all of a sudden, I messed around and looked up and saw a metaphorical mirror. And when I looked in the mirror, see what mirrors do for us, Joe, is they allow us to make adjustments. And so for years, I never looked in the mirror because I knew I could brush my teeth, while I was getting my tie out. I could tie my tie riding down the street. I knew the corners of my eyes, so I could wipe the matter out of my eyes. I didn't need the mirror for that, right? So I didn't see what everybody else saw. Well, when I finally was alone with my thoughts, by myself, sitting on the couch, looking in this metaphorical mirror, right? Now I said, damn, that's who I became. And so watch this. All of a sudden, once I had that crossroad, now I started to say, okay, let's make these adjustments. And so what I started to do is I started becoming a better version of me. And so right now, I am on this quest to become the best version of James Kirkland II that I can possibly be. And you know why I want to become him? Because then, and only then, will I attract who I'm supposed to be with. Because until then, it would be a whole bunch of imposters. It'll be a whole bunch of people that I just want to not spend not take seriously, but just kind of run through or whatever. Excuse me, I'm not using that word loosely when I say that. You understand what I'm saying? But because I'm not the best version of myself, I'm not even challenging myself to get who I deserve. That makes sense. And so that's why I encourage people now, even in my little book I just finished writing, to really spend time looking at that man in the mirror and becoming the best version. Now, to me, it sounds like you're on that path. It sounds like, you got the job, you're worried about, you got the credit together, because you're mentioning those things. You know what I'm saying? You're telling, and I'm sure if you're asked, because I asked you very vividly, I said, very succinctly, I said, what does the face look like of the help? You gave us a good answer what that looks like. And I'm sure you're not asking anybody to bring anything that you can't provide. So with that being said, my advice to you is keep being Joe. You understand what I'm saying? Be the best, keep being Joe, be the best Joe you can be. I mean, be the best Joe you can be, man. But and don't work. Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
So you talked about like when your marriage failed and you did a lot of introspecting, looking at yourself, fixing yourself so that you could be better, so that you could attract better, right? Cool. Yeah. I'm not saying everybody's on that same wavelength of, progression and all that, right? But I would imagine that birds of a feather flock together, right? So I try to surround myself with people that are talking about betterment, not really talking about regressive thoughts or low vibrational stuff, right? I get a little ratchet sometimes, but I know how to not immerse myself in that to where it's really affecting anything, right? Mm-hmm. My thing is, the more in tune with myself I get, right? The more I understand my triggers, the more I understand my downfalls and shortcomings. I look at it like let's just say if anger is an issue, right? We all suffer. As men might suffer with anger, right? Mm-hmm. Some men are further down the spectrum where they become violent, they become combative or whatever, and some men are lighter down the spectrum where they might be a little passive aggressive, right? But there's a spectrum of that aggression, right? Mm-hmm. You can work on everything, but the triggers are still going to be the triggers. So from what I'm on, and I'm not saying I have the anger issue, I'm just saying using that as an example.
Yeah, I got you.
If you look at that like an allergy, then you probably shouldn't, if you don't like shellfish and you have an allergic reaction to shellfish, you probably shouldn't be dealing with shellfish, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're dealing with certain things that are bringing these triggers out of you, it's not that you're not healed, it's that person's bringing that trigger out of you, and you should be able to discern that person's not for me. Like me personally, I hate being interrupted. I'll let somebody talk for 20 minutes straight, won't say a word. But if you interrupt me, I take it as like the biggest insult because my thought hasn't finished and you're trying to cut me off to down the wrong path. The people I interact with, when they do that, instead of me getting mad like I used to, I just stop talking and will not talk to them anymore. Mm-hmm. Right? Okay. So now I'm cutting off a lot of relationships, not just, not for that one specific thing, but the things that used to upset me and bother me now, I'm not going to tolerate. I'm not going to tolerate getting yelled at. I'm not going to tolerate getting talked down to or ignored or all these things. So it's easy for me to say, all right, bye, instead of saying, let's work through these things.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So because I know my allergies. If that's who you are, it is not in me to say change who you are. And I feel like a lot of these relationships are forced because we're trying to accept these people and accept the pain that they cause us and just throw it to the wayside. And then 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, a year down the line, you're so mad over something small, but that's what they were doing from day one. So now I'm wondering, it's like, don't you just enjoy people for who they are, and then when it doesn't work, you just move on without the heartbreak? You just go into something saying, hey man, you cool for now. I'm gonna respect you as best I can, invest as much as I can, but if it don't work, on to the next, without baggage, without feeling like, oh, I wish I could have did this better. I wish they would have did this. They didn't. They're not the person for you. So move forward.
I don't want to interrupt you because I don't want to interrupt you because I don't want you to get mad at me. I don't want you to get mad at me. You just told me you don't like being interrupted. But I got to unpack something you just said though, and I don't know if you meant to say it, but you said something. If a person triggers you, that doesn't mean that you're healed. That you're not healed. I disagree with that. If something still triggers you, then you aren't healed. That's see. You think about the process of a sore, right? If you ever cut yourself. If you cut yourself, it's a sore, right? And then eventually it becomes a scab. Right? And then eventually it becomes a scar. What's the difference between a scab and a scar?
The time it takes to heal it.
Well, a scar doesn't have pain anymore.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? And so if you say something still triggers you, and let's put that out. Let's put that out there for the audience, the people that are listening. Y'all not talking to us tonight. It said, that's the question. If things still trigger you, are you really healed? Because I got an example. You can't see it good, but that's a scar right there, right? I got cut a long time ago. I can touch it. It doesn't itch. It doesn't hurt. There's no sensation whatsoever. It doesn't even bother me. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, if something still triggers you, you still have more healing to do, in my opinion.
Okay, so let me I might be using the wrong terminology, but trigger.
And I thought you might be.
Example of what I mean. So like, I don't do insults. I don't like making fun of people, like to degrade and to insult people. I don't make those type of jokes, right? In the past, those is fighting words, or argument words or insults is flying.
Gotcha.
They bothered me. Now today, if I see someone make a fat joke, for instance, right, or someone make a broke joke or something, it's still bad. Not against me because I ain't fat or broke, but I'm just saying, like, to someone bullying it yes, it affects me. Gotcha. But I'm taking a mental note to say, all right, that's not a person I want to interact with. So I'm not going to hang out with this person, versus I'm going to stick around long enough till they keep doing stuff like that, to now I'm mad. Now I dislike this person, or now I have a grudge against this person. If I see the bullshit or the BS.
No, you all right, bro. You
I just remove myself from the situation, because life is abundant enough that there's enough people to hang out with. You don't got to force yourself to be around someone that you're not comfortable with. You understand what I'm saying? People make mistakes. We have disagreements, but disrespect is disrespect.
Gotcha. I see what you're saying. So that's a different type of trigger. I feel you on that, because that's. But when I talk about a trigger, I'm talking about a trigger like from a past relationship or something that's relationship specific, not just triggers in general. But I feel your point in that regard. And I think you felt mine as well. So that's good. Listen, I'm putting the link in the chat. If there's anybody else that wants to jump in on this conversation for these last few minutes, because we're talking to Joe. Joe has already said he wants to be married. He wants to be in a real relationship that leads towards marriage. But the problem is the type of women that he is running into don't seem to share those values. They seem to be on the I don't want to go to Cheesecake Factory thing, or I want to go on trips without having to without putting anything out there. Let's put Lakeisha's question up again. I put it up a second ago, but I took it off because I wanted to ask Joe that question. Lakeisha said, would it be a fair, I want you to answer this. would it be a fair statement to that all of the single folks are the common denominator in their relationships? Would it be a fair statement to say that all of the single folk are the common denominator in their relationships? That's a really good question, Lakeisha. What you think, my friend?
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
Oh, I know it's me. That's why I'm asking, like, yo, like, what do I? Because the thing is, it's like, all right, I take in using my relationships, right?
Yeah.
When we have our disagreements and we have our arguments, and I'm being told, you do this, you don't do enough of this. This is okay, cool. I'm not going back and saying I can't do that. I go back, okay, and write down the list and go try to accomplish and knock down those things.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? It just seems like it's a sliding scale.
Yeah. Okay. And I agree.
So it seems like I'm trying to learn how to satisfy someone that doesn't know how to satisfy themselves. Cool. No problem. So now I'm learning how to love myself and pour into myself. But then that becomes a little bit more selfish when I set the boundaries. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's I'm learning and I'm evolving with each relationship, right? I'm becoming more self-confident and versed in these relationships. But the more that this happens, the easier it is for me to say, I had more fun and I felt better about myself when I was single and I wasn't trying to date somebody with the intentions of this crossing the goal line.
Wow.
I feel like every time I'm trying to, that process there alone is something that's a futile effort.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sound cynical. I don't want to sound, that's why I ask.
Bro, that's
I ask happily married people, right? Yeah, hey man, you've been married 30 years. How, what would you do? Like, well, I would never get married again. Well, don't tell me some shit like that. Like,
bro, can I tell you, we have a guy.
Beautiful and it's amazing,
I bring married people on the show on purpose. I don't know how long you've been watching, but I bring one couple on, Avery Thompson. And we did thought therapy and we talked about marriage. Guess what year he said he figured it out? He's been married 31 years. Guess what year he said he figured it out?
Probably like 25.
18.
Yeah.
18.
There was what is it? Ruby, is it Ruby D? Is that the lady? Ruby D and Ozzie Davis? They're together, right?
I'm not sure. But how long was this situation?
They've been, they married like 90 years, but that's what she said to Will Smith and Jada when Jada said she doesn't feel like she knows Will, and they've been married for like a decade and something. She's like, you'll never know him. Y'all just keep growing.
And that's my point to you. Even with that, somebody on here said maybe you should date opposite of what you're used to, and try, because like I said, sometimes we blind ourselves with our own prep. Girl, you crazy. We blind ourselves with our preferences sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because we want them to look a certain way and we want them to be a certain way and we want them to do this. But man, I ain't gonna lie, I met somebody, that was, I might not, sometimes I meet somebody when you're not even looking for them. You know what I'm saying? You just run across them and then all of a sudden they just care. They just flat out just care, man. You know what I'm saying? They just all of a sudden just start meeting needs that you wasn't even, that you didn't even know you had. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a dude man named Augustine. Augustine said that God has made us for himself, and our hearts are restless until it finds its rest in him, right? And I love to use that. I love that quote because that quote kind of reminds me of a 1,000-piece puzzle. It takes all these pieces, right? And what would happen if you had a 1,000-piece puzzle that you're trying to complete, but somebody only gave you 998 pieces? And you put together all of these 998 pieces, right? And you stuck trying to put these last two little pieces together, man, because that's what you need to make the puzzle complete, right? I believe that completion comes in a deity. Okay. Hold on. I believe that completion comes in a deity, whatever you call him, but whatever it comes in a deity, your God, a relation, whatever relationship you have. I know who my relationship with is. I'm with Jesus Christ. I'm rolling that way. That's how I'm going. That's where I'm at. But on the other, but for some people, then after Christ, then I believe you need companionship. Okay, I believe companionship gives you the balance you need. It gives you, it complements you. It makes you complete. It ought to add to you And if it does anything other than adds to you, if it does anything other than balancing you out, guess what? I just picked the wrong person and back to the drawing board. And I'm not going to, hold on. But I'm not going to be mad about what I lost.
Right.
I'm going to be thankful about what I lost because I'd rather find out now than find out later. And so as I journey, then so the whole scenario that you've gone through, you can look at it with a different lens and say, I was rescued from that one. You know what I'm saying? And then and then the analogy that I gave you, I use a different man. If it's one man to every 12 women, and you dated 5, that means there's 7 more left. And so out of that 7, what if you found one? I would hope you don't have to go through 11 to find one. You know what I'm saying? But if I missed it with 5, I'd rather miss it with 5 to get to my 1 than try to hang on to 1 and then end up hanging on to the wrong one. Does that make sense?
It makes 100% sense. However,
I like you, Joe.
When I start thinking about it, like realistically, I can't agree with it, and that's what hurts my soul. Because I want to be on your side of the fence.
Okay.
However, okay, cool. I'll break down my rebuttal to all your analogies. The puzzle piece, right? Okay, I got 998 pieces of a 1,000-piece puzzle. I still see the whole picture. I'm not worried about that 2 pieces of grass that's at the corner of the picture that I can't see.
So you would be cool living incomplete, because I mean, even though you see it, you know it's incomplete.
Here's the thing, because I'm trying to learn to be content, not like content where I'm just gonna rest on my laurels and never try to elevate. Content with my position and find real joy, right? So if I'm so hell bent on this 2 pieces out of this 1,000-piece puzzle, I'm throwing away the fact that I already did 998% of the job myself, or 90, whatever, all these pieces myself. I would love to have those 2 other pieces, and that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm trying to get. But that makes me feel as though I'm not even focused on the rest of the puzzle, who I am, who I'm doing on my own, all these things, because I feel as though I have not reached my goal line or my level of the success that I want. I could be a millionaire and still feel a hole in my heart because I don't have my wife.
But the pieces
that's wrong, huh?
But the pieces are obtainable. See, because you say content, I say settling. Because you say content, I say settling, because the 2 other pieces are not something that's not achievable or not obtainable. Hold on one second. Let's read what Katrina said right here. Let's read what Katrina said. I'm enjoying this conversation. We're gonna do this about 10 more minutes, then I'm going to bed. But here it is. It said to get some, Katrina, this is my homegirl. She said to get something great, you have to endure challenges. Each disagreement should bring you closer together. The problem with being single too long, your tolerance becomes shorter. So yes, it seems like it was more fun to be alone, but the end goal should bring the excitement. That longing for a significant other doesn't leave. That longing for a significant other doesn't leave. And this is adding to what Katrina said, based on what you're telling me and based on what you're saying, it sounds like, and I'm not a psychologist. I wish Tanisha was on here. I would let Tanisha jump in here. If you're on here, Tanisha, jump in. That link is in the chat. But it sounds like you've almost, based on your experience, put a filter or a lens over your eyes that allows you to see it to a point. And it's okay. And I get that, because we are 100% the product of our experience. We're the 100% sum total of everything that we've gone through, right? And so if we've gone through some things and you've had some challenging situations and you got to the point now where, why not? You know, like me, I know you were joking when you put the post in the group about marrying a man. You know, it's some valid points in there about that. It was funny, you know, talking about marrying a man, but that thought came from somewhere, not for you, but for him. You know what I'm saying? Because he made some valid points. You know, you can go out and have sex with anybody you want to. You can cheat on me. You know, we can get the tax benefit. We can do all these types of things. We ain't got to sleep in the same bed. We can do all these types of things. I just want the benefit. And that's what marriage has been reduced to. Joe, we didn't have anybody but the Cosby Show. But they just sent Bill to prison. So what does that do to the morals of producing the Black family in our community? Because
Right.
every time we try to promote it, somebody knocks it down, and then it makes a generation. You got mamas, you got daughters that have never seen mama married, that have never seen grandmama married. They've never seen anybody married in their life. And so now they don't know what the value of marriage is. That's why you got to wade through muddy water sometimes to get to clear space. Or you keep becoming the best version of yourself. And guess what happens? You attract them. It just happens. Ask anybody that knows me. I don't just run around dating a whole bunch of people. I don't. Because I'm not going to waste your time. And I'm not going to let you waste mine. I can sit at home and do nothing until I'm ready to go. Because I already know, up front when I meet you, you're not the one. So what we talking for? I'm 51 years old. I ain't got time to play with you.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I'm using now that I'm using my discernment, it's like, bro,
do you have it?
Nobody.
Hold on. I'm joking. I'm being cynical when I say this. You say I'm using my discernment. Now, everybody around here hollering they got discernment, but discernment is a spiritual gift. And everybody don't have. Now, you might have a little. I'm joking. I'm not gonna leave that one alone. You got discernment. Everybody got discernment.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah,
I feel you.
Yeah, because we use terms so loosely. You understand what I'm saying? We put all this colloquialism out here, and we use these loose terms, and we say these things, and we're not. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Lauryn Hill said it could all be so simple, but we try to make it hard, and and that's what we're doing. We're trying to put a square peg in a round hole and then wonder why it doesn't fit. If it don't fit, don't force it. I promise you. And that's the thing. We as men, and it seems like you have it, and I pray you get it even more. But because you said you're 39, right? So when you get 40, you're gonna be able to pick up that remote control, that metaphorical remote control, and it teaches you, and you'll be able to learn how to press pause and play and all that stuff on life at one time while it's going on. Because at 40, you kind of start to see life a little bit different, right? And you're not going to waste a whole lot of extra time, bro. You understand what I'm saying?
That's where I'm at now. I'm at that point where now I'm like, all right, well, I've been chasing this rabbit that ain't coming.
Yeah.
Hey, hold up now. I'm 40. I'm trying to chill. I'm trying to enjoy my life without the stresses of saying I got to get a wife. Like, man, screw that. Like, I'm trying to.
Don't chase rabbits. Become a pescatarian. It's more than one kind of it's more than one kind of meat out there.
That's why I'm trying to give up on it.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. But what I'm telling you, as you elevate, as you evolve, as you continue to become more the man that you are, number one, you have a desire. And that's the first step is the desire. Now you just got to continue to develop into who you want to be, who God wants you to be, and guess what? The man that you're going to be for the woman that's going to eventually come your way, and the children that you're going to have. Hear me when I say it. It's going to happen. And when it happens, you'll be 30, you'll be in your 40s, you'll be mature, you'll have a better bank account. See, you know how many parents, watch this. You know how many young people raise their children on struggle? Because they had children so young, and they got married so young. And and all through their life, they struggle. Now, if you're in your 40s and you end up dating somebody even younger than you or marrying somebody younger than you, now you got the credit. Now you got the bank account. Now you got the career. And you could create a better environment for a child. So it's coming. It has
okay, so that picture is what I am working towards. Cool. Yep. Let's fast forward. I got all that ready to do it. Now, the way that this picture looks is I have to provide. I'm cool for that. I'm happy to do it. How are y'all going to help me get to a point where I can provide more?
It's coming.
You know what I'm saying? More.
But the thing is,
this as a losing bet for men.
No, hey, but just like I asked you,
all these things, it's like.
Y'all pray. Hey, everybody pray for Joe right quick. Stretch your hands this direction. Stretch your hands this direction.
Wake me up, man. I want to see this. Reveal this to me that this makes sense because I'm trying. I really am.
It will make sense and it will be worth it. And I promise you, because even this conversation, you're gonna go back later on tonight. You're gonna replay some of these things, and you're gonna see it with just a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you for your openness. I appreciate you for being transparent and being willing to come on the show tonight and talk about this, man, because some people, you're not the only one where you are. You're not the only person that has considered giving up on dating. It's some women that feel that the same way you feel right now. And that's why I had you on tonight, is because just like you feel, it's some women that feel the same way. And some women needed to hear a man say that we're having these thoughts, right? Because we get stuck in this with this minutia right in the middle. And we're worrying about who we can't have as opposed to focusing on who we're going to have. I'm not worried about who left. Thank you for leaving me. If I didn't ask you to stay, it was a reason I didn't ask you to stay, because you weren't her. But when she comes, and that's the wonderful part about it, Joe. It's only one she. Now I know they do this old polyamorous stuff now, and they do all this, they do a whole lot of stuff in this society now, man. But it's only
that's what I'm saying. So I'm
no,
like,
hey, but that ain't me.
It's not me. It's not me neither.
I'm only focusing on what goes on in James H. Kirkland II's life. I can't control what goes on across the street. I was at the airport today, and there was this white lady. She put her little bag in line and went over there to get her little bag tags and coming back trying to hold her place in line. Well, I mean, 3 people in line, but she's trying to hold her place in line. So all of a sudden, 2-3 kids walked in front of me, and she looked at me like, "Hey, you gonna let that happen?" I said, "What?" She said, "You let them get in front of you." I said, "They were together." She said, "Oh, I was about to say, I was wondering why you did that." I said, "Because it wasn't none of my business." So my point is, I don't worry about nothing that is none of, you know what I'm saying? I can care less about. All I'm concerned about is what's here. And once I feel like you're not the one, man, I would withdraw the right hand of fellowship. I put my hand in my pocket. I put that Baptist finger up and walk out. I'll ghost you. I ain't got no problem ghosting. I will ghost you in a heartbeat. I heard a preacher the other day say, she said, "Don't be mad when somebody ghosts you." She said, "Respect the dead." And that's where, and that's where I am in life, because if I do ghost you, that means, and I'm being facetious, ladies, when I say that to an extent. But if I ghost you, that means I didn't have much invested anyway. And before I put a whole lot of investment in something, I'll move on and I'll know. And I think you will know as well, that discernment that you talk about. But if that's the case, I mean, I've been in a restaurant, and this is some years ago, but I was in a restaurant one time and I was talking to this young lady, and all she talked about the whole time was her hair, what kind of clothes she was going to buy, what kind of swimming suit she was going to buy for her vacation. And it got so shallow, I left a $100 bill on the table and I walked out. Pay for your food, pay for mine, I'm done. I'll pay $100 to end this conversation.
Right.
But I'm not bitter about it.
Me
I ain't
neither.
gonna, and I'm not saying you are, but I'm just saying I'm not bitter about it. I thank God I dodged that bullet. And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes as men, as women, we can't worry about what we lost. We just got to be prepared for when it comes. We talked about the scripture, but hey, scripture also said it's not good for man to be alone. It also says it's better. It's better to marry than to burn. There's a whole bunch of scriptures out there, that we can throw out there that are applicable, some applicable, all those kind of things. So we just got to find what works for us. The thing I like about you is that you are able to express yourself. A lot of men don't do it. I mean, some of my friends will probably tell you I'll shut down in a heartbeat. If I don't want to talk, I'm not talking. I'll talk when I'm ready to talk. And I'm in, and some people say that's suppressing your emotions. Oh, that's controlling my emotions. Because if it come out right now, you might not like the way it comes out, and we might not be friends anymore after this conversation. So give me a minute, let me work this out. So what you call suppressing, I call controlling. So, and that's the thing. So, like I said, I want to give you a voice. Like I said, if you all have not joined Stu Nation Followers of Christ, go there, send me a request, I'll let you in, and you can read the post yourself, and we can continue the conversation there. I'm sure Joe is really seeking an answer. He really is. He's really seeking answers. He's wondering, why is it worth it? Because I already have all these things. What are you bringing? Because all you seem to do is be coming with your hands out instead of giving a helping hand. And he's saying, what's the, and he's saying, I don't even mind paying the bills, but you're going to have to be able to contribute and complement this relationship, because if I'm making 100,000 this year and I got a side business, then by next year I need to be making 120, and the side business we need to be making another 50 or 60, because we figured out how to work this thing. And is that what you're basically saying? You want somebody to add to and contribute to what you got going on, right?
Not even that. It's just I want to build with somebody. I just feel like a lot of the things that I'm seeing that people want are not to. It's like, how do you want to get there, but you're doing things that are taken away from your ability to get there? Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, you're taking all these trips to escape the life that you live in here. You literally travel in a third world country to live like a king and feel better about yourself. Don't get me wrong. There's benefits to traveling. I'm all for it. But it seems like these people are running away, not actually celebrating a win. You're literally like scrapping and scraping to afford a vacation, to take away and have a break. You're doing these things to go to a restaurant to feel better. I feel amazing. I don't have to escape nothing. I can go to the park and feel just as good as I do in Jamaica. I just might go to Jamaica because my friends might be going and it's worth going, but it's not like I have to do that to have fulfillment in life. And it feels like the dating world, you have to fulfill all these frivolous things that don't mean much. But if you built a life to where you could do that on a regular, I want to live in Jamaica. I don't want to travel there. You know what I'm saying? So I want to do the things to where I could live in Costa Rica for 6 months, go to Dubai and do all these things, which is not that expensive. It's not. You just have to make the money online.
And you know what, bro? You know, and not cutting you off. Let me just say this. And you know what? Yeah. The woman, this is what, like I said, you're so articulate. What's going to happen is you're going to meet the right woman. And the way you just casted vision, because see, that's what a man does in a relationship. The head of ladies, when I say head of the household, I'm talking about the leader of the house. The man in the house he establishes the vision for the house. And he tells her, listen, I want to do those things, but I want to do them like this. And let's work to do this so we can do it forever. And we could do it continuously. And you cast vision, and you cast it where they can understand it. And I'm going to tell you something. When you cast a vision, because women, y'all help me out on this one. Let me know if I'm wrong. A woman loves a man with a plan. A woman loves a man with a plan. And when he can, I'm talking about a real one now. I ain't talking about these little girls out here. I'm talking about a real one now. Because you can't put everybody in the same category. You understand what I'm saying? Because some of them just operate with female parts. It's the same as some dudes that will operate with just male parts, right? So that I can't worry about them. The one that matters is going to be the one that loves a man with a plan. Are they talking right now? Amen. Yes, indeed, sir. Oh, yeah. They love a man with a plan. So when they say, okay, I want to go to Jamaica, say, listen, we can go to Jamaica now, and we're going to have to come back and struggle we can wait a little while. And next time we go, we're going to be able to do it like this. And I got a plan to help us get there. And when you articulate that plan, bro, and cast, because it's called casting vision. And when you cast, you usually can respect a return if you cast it right. And I think, like I said, with your ability to
hope, they gave me a little bit of hope. All right, that's a gem. I'll take that. I'll take that.
But
now,
hold on.
Now the thing is, I don't know how many people I got to share that story with, because you ain't trying to tell.
You ain't got to share with one.
Your dreams.
You got to share with one. I guess. Listen here. Let me tell you something. Listen. You ain't gonna have to really share it with really but one, because the rest of them you're not gonna waste your breath on. One of my favorite analogies is I got asthma, so I don't waste my breath. So I'm not gonna sit out. A woman that's not the potential one that you're about to be with, you're not gonna share that vision with her. Y'all haven't even gotten that far. That conversation might end at the table. You know what I'm saying? At the dinner table. You might not even get that far. You understand what I'm saying? Because you don't share your vision with everybody. Ask Samson what happened when he started sharing his vision at the wrong person with the wrong. You don't share your vision with everybody. Yeah. You don't share your vision with everybody. You share your vision with the one that can help you. And you'll know, because she'll listen. And the right one will start taking notes. And she'll start figuring stuff. I met this woman one time, I kid you not. And I met her through Facebook. We started chatting, talking. I started sharing some of my vision with her. But before I knew it, she started building me a website trying to help me get to my
So
business.
where's she at though? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
I don't share my business with everybody.
nah, I respect.
I'm joking. Man, you gotta laugh when I crack jokes, bro. I'm just joking. But real talk, I'm just saying they're out there. That's all I'm telling you. They're out there. But the thing is, you be the best Joe. Keep on expanding, and watch your conversation. Let your conversation be more yays and nays. Be positive. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that you're negative. You know what I'm saying? But you put out what you want to get back. You know what I'm saying? And so you start speaking life instead of speaking. Because if in fact death and life are in the power of the tongue, and I do believe they are, speak life. Speak life.
Yep.
And stop speaking about all these little chicken heads that only want to go to Jamaica, to show off and do this. Don't even bring them up because they're insignificant. They don't matter. They don't.
That's the thing. I feel like I don't date, those type of women. I feel like these are good people, like that I'm talking about. I just feel like
then you F around and find out. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, you joking, but you for real. But yeah, like I'm talking about the good.
Oh, I like you.
Good ones, man. They got a lot going for them. It's just they done been through hell and back to get where they at. They not trying to share no struggle with nobody. And I respect it, but then it leaves me like, well,
it's coming.
What
age range do you date?
I try not to do younger than like 32, 33. That's still kind of iffy for me. I'm 39, so I try to stay within 2-3 years.
Okay. And how far above?
When I was younger, I would date older, but I want to have more kids, so I don't want to put the pressure on anybody.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would, but I don't want to,
Bro, hey, let me tell you something. Ladies, Joe seems like a good dude. I mean, for real, he really does. And what that lets you know is that there are still good men out here who are able to articulate themselves, who are able to express what they want. When I asked him a question earlier about what help looked like in his relationship, he articulated it perfectly. He told him, he said point blank, I want you to be able to do this. I want you to be able to do that. And it wasn't anything that he wasn't offering. He wasn't asking for 50-50. He wasn't asking for half on the bill. I hate that 50-50 conversation. I had a girl ask me that the other night, like, will you go 50? Girl, please. I want to go 100. That's all I want to do. Whatever 100 look like. If I got 60, you got 40. If I got 80, you got. I just want 100. I don't care how we get to that 100, but let's just get there. So this is good, man. I could talk to you all night, but I just know I can't. So and plus, like I said, I just got off a flight earlier today, and I'm a little tired. But I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate you, Joe, for coming on. Listen, if you all want to, if you have not checked out the new website, please, ma'am, please, sir, go there and check it out. It is www.theintellectualstew.com. You can go there, find out more about the podcast. You can get your Intellectual Stew merch. We're having a Black Friday sale this week on all of our entry level of all of our t-shirts. I have the On the Path to Better t-shirts, which has been selling pretty well. And the one I have on, which is The World is Changing, Why Do You Remain the Same? Y'all go check those out. They are only $23, starting at $23. And that price includes shipping. So I'm not making but a couple of dollars on the shirt. I just want you to have them. So y'all support us, if you will, theintellectualstew.com. Joe, we jumped out of our series we had been doing where we were calling Show Us How to Date You. And I wanted to bring a man on, and I wanted him to talk about I really didn't know what I wanted to do. But when I saw your post today, I thought it was good that we bring you in and bring it in from a male perspective, because we got a lot of work to do, bro. It's not easy. Nobody said it was gonna be easy. Didn't nobody say it was gonna be easy. But I will say that I believe it's worth it. I believe it's gonna be worth it. I think we just gotta wait it out. And I think if we do,
I'm doing my research. I'm gonna keep doing my research.
Now, you've done your research. You know what? And because the thing is, bro, let me tell you something. You can do all the research you want, but this thing, there's no template for what we're going through. No, anatomically, God made us. I say this all the time. God made us and gave us our own fingerprints. So there is no template. There's no one-size-fits-all plan that will help you, moving on. You know what I'm saying? You just got to find the one that works for you. And when it comes, right, it's going to work. You know what I'm saying? In fact, my advice is stop looking and live. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm going to end the note.
That's what I'm saying, man. There's going to be some living. And I'm trying not to be sinning. So it's like, that's the, but yeah, bro, I'm not looking. I'm having fun.
Yeah,
I'm not bitter. I ain't sad. I'm not lonely. I'm just literally curious as to why I want something that the more I look at it, the benefit ain't there. But we good over here.
Don't let curiosity kill your cat. No, I'm just joking. But Joe, will you come back on?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna get you on some panel discussions, man, because I like. Tell her where you live at. Where you at? What part? What state you in?
I'm in Jersey.
Oh, you up top? Okay, cool. Hey, look here, Intellectual Stew going nationwide, baby. Going up top to New Jersey. We got Joe on the show tonight. I appreciate it, man. Listen, www.theintellectualstew.com. We're out. Remember this, every time I leave, I tell you one thing. The world is changing. My question for you is, why do you remain the same? Y'all have a good night. Support this podcast. I got the Cash App and the PayPal right there. Y'all support this thing. We're trying to grow to another level, right? All right, Joe. Appreciate you, man. We'll talk soon, bro. I got your number, man. I'm going to holler at you.
Bro.
Yep.